Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to our council meeting tonight. I'd like to call our meeting to order. Before we get started, I'd like to lead us in our prayer. So if everybody stand, we'll go into prayer, and then right from our prayer, we'll go into the pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Higginbotham, call roll, please.
President Logan.
Here.
Councilman Sullivan.
Here.
Councilman Davis.
Here.
Councilman Hogg.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mayor Aaron, she's readily available here. Good to see you back, Mayor. She has some special guests. There are 7-year-old Northport Nationals, and they are World Series champions, and the mayor has got something very special for these players and coaches. So, Mayor, you have the floor.
Thank you, and it is certainly a nice-looking group of young men here and adults, and I know you've had a long, hard spring and summer, but in the end, you made it all worthwhile. If the coaches would like to come, and if we can fit the children up here too, I should say the ball players, they are certainly welcome to come stand with us.
See the size of those rings?
I'm sorry about my walker, y'all. I'm trying to get over having a bionic knee here. Okay. All right. Whereas Grayson Carter, Jack Crocker, Brantley Dickinson, Andrew Glasgow, Brody Moss, Sam Ridley, Kurt Summers, Jake Taylor, Tanner Townsend, Colton Watkins, Isaac Watson, and Walker Welch are players on the 2018 7-year-old Northport Nationals All-Star Baseball team. And whereas Coach Joey Glasgow is the head coach of the Northport Nationals, with Coach Wayne Watkins, Coach Chad Dickinson, Coach Justin Crocker, Coach Adam Watson, Coach Lance Ridley, and Coach Brandon Carter are assistant coaches. And whereas the 2018 7-year-old Northport Nationals won an invitational tournament in Chelsea, Alabama, ending the season with an overall record of 14-2, and whereas the Northport Nationals defeating the reigning state champions of Louisiana won the 2018 7-year-old USSSA World Series held in Gulfport, Mississippi. Now therefore, I, Donna Aaron, by the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Northport, Alabama, do hereby proclaim Monday, July the 23rd, 2018 to be 7-year-old Northport Nationals World Series Champions Day in the city of Northport, and we express our congratulations to these young men, coaches, and families for all their hard work and a job well done. So, I have. And you must be coach.
Thank you.
And you get the one with the cover, but there should be a proclamation for each one of the others.
Thank you very much.
And if we have miscounted, let me know, so that everyone can.
Thank you. We have something we would like to give you as well, Sam.
Oh.
Can you give that to Mayor Aaron?
Thank you so very much. Listen, I'm used to baseball. Had 2 boys that came up through all that program, so I am used to all of this, and I appreciate it. It's very special, and I appreciate the representation that you made for our city. You're goodwill ambassadors, and we always appreciate that. And thank y'all so very much for your patience and your volunteerism.
Thank y'all. Good job. Good job, coaches. Good job, players.
Thank you, guys.
Now, guys, you guys are more than welcome to stay and see how government works, but I'm sure you want to get back out in the open, and
It's time to go eat.
it's probably time to go eat or something. Congrats, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats. Appreciate you guys representing Northport. Absolutely. All right. Item 5 is approval of our agenda. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as printed. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6, we did have Mr. Chris Houghton to address our council, but he attended our pre-meeting and had a very good meeting with mayor and council, and I think we've got a good starting point to address his needs, so we're going to strike him from the record, so he's already been addressed by the council in our pre-meeting. Under new business, 8A1 is a first reading of an ordinance for conditional use on lot number 1 Union Station. Mr. Stevens?
Yes, sir. This is for an office warehouse to be located on Lot 1 of Union Station off of Union Chapel Road. It received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Thank you. Remember, council wanted to offer that for a first reading.
I'll offer that.
Thank you. Offered up by Councilman Hogg. Second item is a first reading of an ordinance for conditional use for Lot 2 Union Station. Mr. Stevens?
Yes, sir. This is conditional use for a mini warehouse or mini storage on Lot 2R of Union Station.
All right.
It received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Thank you. Is there a member of council wanted to offer that for a first reading?
I'll offer that one.
It's offered up by Councilman Sullivan. Item 3 is a first reading of an ordinance declaring an unsafe structure at 5121 Northwood Lake Drive West. Mr. Stevens?
Yes, sir. This is a house out in Northwood Lake that our inspectors have looked at and determined to be an unsafe structure. And this will be the first reading to begin the demolition proceedings.
Thank you. Is there a member of council wanted to offer that for a first reading?
I'll offer that up.
Motion offered by Councilman Davis. 8B1 is a resolution authorizing our city administrator to authorize changing providers for the City of Northport's Employee Assistance Program. Again, this is out of our HR department, but Mr. Higginbotham, you will take the lead on this one.
Yes, sir. What we are asking is that you allow us to change providers for our EAP program. We currently use DCH. DCH has decided to discontinue offering that service. At this point, they are using River Oaks Employee Assistance Program for their own employees. We have discussed this with River Oaks, and they have agreed to continue our contract as it's written with DCH, not only by cost, but also for services provided. This particular contract would allow us to move away from River Oaks if we ever choose to do so in the future with a 30-day notice. So basically, in the end, it amounts to a month-to-month contract.
All right, thank you. Is there a member of council wanted to offer that for a motion to adopt the resolution regarding city administrator to execute all the necessary documents and approve the requisitions pertaining to the continuation of the city's EAP systems services through River Oaks Health LLC beginning August 1 of 2018? That's a motion by Councilman Sullivan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries, Mr. President.
Second item is a resolution declaring certain item as surplus and authorizing the proper disposal. Ms. Starnes?
Oh, yes, sir. This is a Ford F-250 2004 model that's reached its useful life, and we plan on sending it to the auction.
All right. Is there a motion to adopt that resolution?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Davis. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Third item is a resolution authorizing our city administrator to enter into an agreement with North Alabama Cooperative Association. Mr. Murphy.
Yes, this is entering into an agreement that with an organization that pools together a buying power of municipalities in North Alabama. The annual dues is around $1,720 a year. We expect a lot of savings being part of this cooperative. As an example, for the E911 project that we have coming up, we're looking at about a 53% savings, which equals out to about $21,000.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve that resolution authorizing our administrator's office to enter into an agreement with the North Alabama Cooperative Purchasing Association?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Hogg. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments?
I just want to say I appreciate you, Scott, doing that.
All right, hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item C is our consent agenda. We have 17 items. They range from minutes of the previous meeting, bill listings, travel and training, and of course, 2 or 3 requisitions regarding Charles Shirley Road project, and of course, MLK. These are ongoing road projects that, again, these are typical invoices regarding these 2 projects. So again, any member of council willing to approve the consent agenda as printed?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 9 is reports of special committees to council. If a member of council or the mayor's office wanted to give a report from their respective committee.
And I could say that the retail committee met last week, and through the help of our consultant that we hired for retail projects, and we will be going into an executive session tonight to discuss retail opportunities and economic development. So
Absolutely. Any further business from a respective committee?
Next meeting, you should have, probably we'll do an amended budget, as well as we're fixing to begin the 2019 budget as well. So you remember we're back on October 1, so the next one will be a complete 12-month. We're operating on 9 now, so we're anxious to get that started.
All right. Item 11, city administrator's business. Mr. Higginbotham.
I have no more business tonight.
Item 12, departmental business. We have none on the agenda. Item 13 is public comment. We have one citizen signed to speak, Mr. Jason Walker. Thank you, Jason. Please state your name and address for the record.
Jason Walker, 2890 Rice Mine Road, Northeast, Tuscaloosa. So thank you for just a couple of minutes. I'm actually here tonight on behalf of Mr. Todd Palmer, developer, and had asked, he's actually out of town, out of the country right now, but wanted to make sure that the council was aware that he's still very interested in pursuit of the purchase of the property that was part of the RFP that was issued a few months ago on Main Avenue. So I know there's a lot of other issues, I guess, that surround the matrix that make up the decision ultimately to sell that property, but he is interested in moving forward with the purchase of the property. So I'm here just to relay that to the council and ask for, anything you can do for that.
All right. Thank you, Jason. And again, because it's city-owned property, of course, at any rate, we'll still have to go through executive session and go through that process. So I don't know if anybody else want to chime in regarding Jason's update and request.
I appreciate you being here. Obviously, that's something I think we need to review and make a decision on, so we'll try to have that conversation.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Item 14, mayor and council members' business. District 2 under my business. School's starting back, so I just want to tell all the parents, school starts back. How about that? Basketball camp is this Friday. I've got a basketball camp. I partner with the Tuscaloosa Titans at Eccles Middle School. It's going to be July 27th. That's Friday from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. They're going to be helping me put this free camp on. It's just for kids who, again, couldn't afford to go to a camp. We're going to teach you some life skills, and it should be a lot of fun. We've got, again, the Titans just won their division championship Saturday at Eccles, so they're going to move on. It's a semi-pro team, and they play in Northport. They've been gracious enough to help me conduct the camp. So, again, that's going to be this Friday, July 27th, 9 a.m., 2:30 p.m. I know everybody's seen the paper where they've got a new school proposed to be built up north. I'll just say it again for the record. I wish you would build a new school on the south end. Again, that's just Jay Logan. I can only speak for my district. So I know they've got some tough decisions. I'm sure the school will be very pretty and it's going to be a good looking building. But at some point, I think we'll probably need to reengage the school board to see what their plans may be to address that area where Riverside and Matthews is. I think, in my personal opinion, as one council member of that district, I think at some point that school's going to be the oldest school in the county at some point, both of them, Matthews and Riverside. So it would be nice to have a really engaging conversation to say, when you make the long-range plans, think about that because it may be hamstringing city from growing in that area. So that's all the business I have. District 3, Councilman Sullivan.
I have nothing tonight, Mr. President.
District 4, Councilman Davis.
I just want to, echo what you just said. The kids down on the south end of Northport, they deserve a school like the ones on the north end do. So hopefully we can reengage with the county and see what the future is for that part of town.
Yep. District 5, Councilman Hogg.
I've got two things. If you've noticed, Highway 43 past Mid-Larry and right before you get to Mid-Larry, our project that we partnered with Tuscaloosa County and ALDOT has begun. I know it's taken a little while and didn't come at a worse time right before school, but I think you'll notice that it's going to be very good for that area. I'm not really sure of the logistics of how ALDOT has determined where the traffic flow is right now, but I do see the progression that they're doing, and I know that will be a good thing for our city going forward. Also, speaking of projects in paving, I would also like to make a motion, finalize the evaluations of the roadways to be paved throughout the city, and authorize the engineering department to advertise for bids for the 2018 resurfacing project that districts need. So I'd like to put that in form of a motion.
All right. That's in the motion to authorize the city administrator's office to, one, finalize evaluations per each district. And again, I know we're without District 1, but rest assured staff is going to be working with the mayor's office and Bruce's office and every council member really to get these roads in District 1 evaluated quickly. And then also, Jeff, you wanted to go ahead and start the bidding process once the evals are submitted this week, I guess?
Yes, I'd like to go ahead and have everyone submit those into the city administrator and engineering department.
Okay. That's in the form of a motion. I will second. All right. Any questions or comments regarding Councilman Hogg's request? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Again, we have an executive session request. This is item 15. This is, I'm sorry, the Honorable, the lovely, jumping over. Mayor Donna Aaron, good to have you back.
With that walk.
And then she's gonna hit me with that walker. So, Mayor, good to have you back.
Thank you, and you just better be glad my leg's not well now, or I'd be kicking some you know what. I am totally in agreement with what you have just talked about with the schools. We did our very best to plead that case once before. Unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears. But Riverside is the oldest school in the county, and I think Matthews is right behind it, and it's inexcusable that they will not listen to the area that provides them their most tax base.
Yes, ma'am.
And I can say, and I think some of us have been accused of not all being in agreement that things need to be done to benefit that area as well as take care of the other students in our community. But I feel that everybody is 1,000% on this.
Yeah, I think, and I made that statement, Mayor, and you're spot on. Just because you may have some areas of the public who feel like we didn't engage the school board effectively, but it was almost, we met at length, weeks at a time. The mayor's office wrote a very long letter, very stern letter, kind of disagreeing with our school board and their plan, because it didn't give Northport the growth that we all thought it should get. So the mayor's office has done their part, and council, I think we were all in agreement that we were uncomfortable with the decisions that were made. So spot on, Mayor.
In order to have a conversation, you have to have two parties willing to listen to each
Mm.
other. So, Mayor said, with falling on deaf ears, kind of hindered with that. But this is something that I think is very important for the future state of Northport, for its children, whether that be trying to regain the trust in the partnership with the county school board, or looking at alternative options too.
Yep.
As we go forward. So that is something that we'll have to discuss with them at another time.
Hopefully they will listen.
I agree.
That's all I have.
Well, Mayor?
President
Good to have you back.
Morgan. Thank you.
Know you're recuperating. Item 15, executive session. I know I'm right now. All right. It's been asked to have an executive session adjourn the meeting to go in executive session to discuss possible sale of city property and, of course, possible economic development opportunities. And again, in our pre-meeting, we kind of went back and forth, and I think the session may take a little bit longer than what we're accustomed to. I would want to say 1 hour and 20 minutes. I'm saying that because we may be less time than that, so I would say 1 hour, about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Because I think we're trying to really discuss a couple items of importance regarding economic development and, of course, possible sales of city property. So, again, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting to go in executive session to discuss economic development opportunities and possible sales of city property. The session should take no longer than 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's anticipated that we won't take any action after executive session is concluded. However, we'll still go back in and we'll come and adjourn. If council wanted to put something on, they have that opportunity and right to do so. Again, that's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries, Mr. President. We'll go into executive session. I would like to point out that at this point, unless anybody here sees a reason, I don't see a reason for staff to stay.
No, I don't. Staff's adjourned. So we'll be back in 1 hour and 20 minutes.